Hey guys, welcome back. Let's play Rogue Galaxy. Last time, we talked with Lilica in the village and learned about her sister becoming a sacrifice. And then I praised the characters for not jumping in and saying that everything was wrong. And then right at the end of the last episode, they decided to throw all my praise out the window, and now everything that these backwater tribesmen are doing is wrong and we gotta go fix it. So at least we had it for a little while before the game decided, like, no, you can't have nice things. Next things up, settings. We were going to turn active chat back on. I'm going to leave the battle messages off because they're just annoying. These ones are annoying too, especially if I stop and talk because they love to interrupt me.
How long we gotta stand around here?
Point proven. Third, not the flow. We are going to take a look at our items. I have moved some things around to make this easier to demonstrate. We are going to go to analyze. We're going to double check to make sure everything possible. And I'm pretty sure I did this off screen already, but I am going to do it just in case. Okay, we finished doing all that. There was actually one that I had forgotten to do. Now we're going to go combine. And what I've done here is I've moved over most of the weapons that I plan on combining and put them into nice, easy segments to demonstrate which ones are supposed to be done. Now, this is one of the things I actually had turned the widescreen patch off in order to avoid. Toady sits in the fucking way of the name of every item. And I don't know why this is the case. I went to go turn it off in settings and it doesn't apply unless I restart the emulator. I'm not going to do that right now, but basically he should be put over to the side so he's out of the way. I guess it's just one of the quirks of the widescreen patch. We don't have it on. The characters look short and fat, so I'm going to leave it on just because the game itself looks better. But it's annoying because now there's people in front, or there's a toad in front of the name of all my items. So I will do all the organization of my items so that it's easier to do, and then we'll just talk about it when we get there. Again, like I said, any weapon that glows red will be something that you can use in combining. So we are going to feed him a plain edge and a wild edge. Now, the way that all of this is going to work is we're going to start to combine weapons so that we always have new weapons to work on. Eventually, we are going to combine all the way up to the ultimate weapons in the game. This will work in a number of different ways.
What I call a masterpiece.
And in kind of how this works, see if this is the same way here. Let's combine two more weapons here. The Grand Edge and the Rock Crusher. This one's also going to be a masterpiece.
Now that's what I call
eventually.
a masterpiece.
Now, if he says that, basically what it refers to is it refers to the frog log. The frog log will keep track of all of the weapons you've analyzed and all of the weapons you've created. It will add one to the analyzed pile for each new one you've created, but it will not analyze all of the ones that you've put into that, which is why in my test run, I ended up being short a few of the analyzed ones in order to get a reward. And by reward, certain combinations that are in his frog log are required to fill out, or a certain number of them, not all of them, are required to fill out in order to get this reward later in the game. It's not that important if you don't want to do it, and as I said before, if you don't want to bother with item combining in this game, you do not have to. You can buy like the second or third best weapon in the game at like the last shop and then just use that one. You can just use stuff that you find / buy if you want to do it that way. But you're missing out on kind of part of the game. Even though I did not personally route each combination of these weapons, like I said, there are 742 of these goddamn things. I did use another walkthrough that basically goes and lists a whole bunch of different weapon combinations that are suggested that you're going to either get or have easy access to over the course of the game. and that will also be linked in the description. It's by the same creator as Muck that did the walkthrough with all of the maps that I've been following. So you're in pretty good company. They're not 100% perfect, but they're more than good enough. And as I followed them in my test run, and I had no issues other than the fact that I forgot to analyze things along the way. So anyway, we've made those combinations. Now, these are additional combinations that I'm going to be making with his guns, but I haven't leveled these guys up yet, so I'm just going to leave them here for now. Over here, I have other combinations. So I'm going to feed one of these and one of these, the Pirate's Daggers and the Pirate's Glaives. And what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to combine them together. And what the result will be is what I'll want to eventually combine with the next Pirate's Glaives that's sitting right next to it. So if I ever put 3 in a line like that, that's the reason for it. I will be combining the Cosmo Talismans with the Pirate's Glaives there. There's like different tiers of weapons. You don't really need to know this, but there's different tiers of weapons, and in each kind of set like area, like this will be in the same, I guess, type of gun as the next one here. And like this, and this, as far as stars, are probably in the same area or in the same section. But these two swords will be in a different one from this one. You don't need to know it. It's just kind of weird how the way it works. And what will end up happening when you create certain things, we'll take a look at the stats on this one or not. The Cosmo Talismans, and it's got a little Z icon. That is randomly generated. It's usually a Greek character. Sometimes I think it's Sigma or Beta or whatever. I forget which the Z stands for off the top of my head, but the idea here is that it's got a random suffix on it, and it just means it's the top tier of that class of, in this case, daggers. All right, so we're going to feed these two and combine these two, which will be the last one I think I'll be doing for the moment. And basically, I'll try and remember to always have this walkthrough of combining weapons linked in the description, so you'll always know kind of where I got the list for. When he says, voila, it's been fused, it's not going to apply to that frog log list that I was talking about. So let's go to frog log, and we'll go to Zegro. See how it has 0 created? Even though we've made a creation, it's not one of the ones that he requires, and the ones that he requires are apparently random as all hell, because there's no rhyme or reason as to why that's a requirement, other than the fact that if you go to analyze a weapon and he says, I would pair it with, X or Y, and you pair it with that one, you're probably going to get the result that he wants. I don't know why they require you to do this in order to get a reward, but they do. It's not really explained all that well, but the information is given to you. So anyway, with that being said, we can now equip the sword. All of this just so that we have a sword to work on with Jaster at this point. And I have warped back to the spring area. The reason I have warped back to the spring area is we have a treasure chest to pick. So let's go do that.
Is there really such a thing as the Star God?
And whereabouts is it? I think it's over here somewhere. There it is. So we'll go grab this, and then I will warp to the next one.
Over there.
And since I am going to be jumping back and forth to save points, we'll just nuke those guys quickly, get some nice rewards. The ruby's important because we're going to need more than the one of those that we have.
Where Lilica and the others went.
Well, I kind of left them alone. See, this one requires the Earth Key. It gives you 2 Thunderstones. Now I'm just going to walk back to the save point, warp to Creekside, and I will see you in a moment. Okay, we're back. The Creekside teleporter is the one right around Jester's head there. And we just made our way a little bit to the north of that. And we get Dynamite Hand, which is another weapon from Steve.
This sucks.
They've continued to talk about where Lilica might be, but they haven't really done too much. All right, let's desert wind the crap out of these guys. And hopefully we get lucky. Now, I said earlier that I was going to be trying to not overfight a lot of the enemies.
Don't fall
However,
behind, okay?
this area is kind of an exception because this area is insane. There's pretty much a drop we want from almost every enemy in this entire area. We also need a lot more money than we have. We're going to try and grab that all on the way, but we're probably not going to get enough. So there will be some additional grinding here. I did a small amount on Rosa. I will be doing more of it here because we really do need all of that excess money. Right now I have 4,000. I need 7,000 for the next shop, and it's not that far away.
No use standing around. Come on.
We're not standing around. We're moving. So yeah, this is the same direction that they started to go at the end of the cutscene, at the end of the last episode. This is the path to altar.
We're not having the best of luck here.
Nice lag. I can't seem to get away from that. It happens multiple times every single day. Now, this is one of those areas I was talking about, the narrow areas. You will not be able to run into enemies
Where Lilica and the others went.
in this cavern. It just won't happen. I don't know why, but it won't happen. Once we get out here, then it'll happen.
Let's find a path to the altar.
Find a path to the altar. Well, the altar is this way. This way is not the altar. This way is a save point. So let's go this way first. It doesn't really matter. They don't have an indication on where we're supposed to go yet. It doesn't matter which direction you go because this path has a save point. All right.
Think I'm gonna go easy?
With Jaster alone, tell everyone to step back.
Over there.
Let's just leave it at that.
I guess they got in a hit before I had a chance to do anything. It's one of the things sometimes you just get screwed and there's nothing you can do about not getting it. So
Remember,
just,
we're here for the booster oil, not
yeah,
the Star God.
I know. But yeah, so just kind of keep that in mind that sometimes you'll get screwed and it won't even be your fault. As you can see, like there was nothing I could do to execute that any faster. She got off and I guess other
It
than
might be this way.
having everyone turned off right at the start.
Here they come.
All right, let's turn those back on. You can attack or
Jester.
there we go.
That's how you get it done.
Miri still hasn't been sacrificed, right?
That's the hope. See what I mean about the dialogue just coming way too fast? We've walked that tiny little section and we've had like 3 different lines of dialogue, which is fine if it only happened once. But if they repeat themselves 1,000 times, it gets tedious. The game won't let you walk over the edge. One of the things I really dislike about the way the camera works in this game, though, is because I want to look up. But if I let go of the joystick, he looks back down. You can't look down too far or up too far. The game will auto readjust, and it's kind of annoying. We got another ancient scroll, which I can give to someone at some point.
What's this?
Looks like there was another ship that
Down
crashed
ship.
here. Maybe they weren't talking about our ship.
This looks like a Zerardian cruiser. Probably crashed here while on a tour of the Juraican wilderness.
Datron.
Datron is the galaxy's top spaceship manufacturer. Kinda strange that it crashed. They're famous for their quality.
Zagrom!
What's that?
I just found it. Any ideas?
Looks like a free shot. It's a gun that'll freeze anything it shoots.
Wonder if it's still usable. Guess not. There's still some charge left, though.
Oh well. I doubt there's anyone on this planet who'd know how to fix that thing.
Yeah. That's a real shame.
Now, here's a good spot to point something out. If you rewatch that past scene and notice how the small features of Jaster's face react to the weapon not firing, his eyebrows move, his eyes widen, his mouth adjusts. Even though this is a very kind of specialized art style that's not necessarily super realistic, it's very expressive. And that allows the characters to emote a lot more than they otherwise would be able to, say, in Final Fantasy X. Now, it's not a fair comparison because this game came out like 6 years after the fact. But if you look at Final Fantasy X's facial features, they tried and they had a much more realistic style. And it just, a lot of the time it didn't work. I have it burned into my brain. One of the reactions that Sid made when he's on the airship, he was supposed to be sad, but his face just looked entirely wrong. So anyway, that's something that this game has as a very good kind of point in its favor.
Let's find a path to the altar.
You're starting to repeat yourself. Magic lipstick is important. I should probably start to talk about some of the rare drops. I believe there's some new enemies in this area, this kind of section of the area. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3. Nope, we did not get 3. Where is 3? Let's go get 3.
I wonder where Lilica and the others went.
There's a few items over here. Some of them are somewhat hidden. We got the one over there. And there's one that's hidden back here. Here I am pressing circle as if it's going to make me swim faster. Nope, not playing Stellar Blade. Frozen Slasher.
Let's hurry.
Yeah, anytime you can avoid actually swimming and instead can walk in the water, that's the better option. Well, we got the magical lipstick, which is a rare item that we already talked about. And there's another one that we got that we should probably talk about. And here's the third one, the Ho-Ho Bird Feather. It is a 2 to 3% drop rate in this new section of the area. We need 19 for the flow and 9 for the factory. Try and get some. You'll notice that the way it looks, let's see here, it's not exactly the same, but it kind of looks like its namesake in Pokemon. It would be more red that way, but anyway, we got a Frozen Slasher. Let's move that over here. As long as we try and keep our stuff organized here. I specifically put the specialty weapons over here. Spoiler, the broken free shot will not always be broken. Not like the game was very subtle at pointing that out already. But anyway, if we keep ourselves organized, we will always know where our items are, and it won't be hard to find where they're supposed to be. I go way out of my way, and I set up healing, AP healing, revive, and then a bunch for status. Anyway, now that we've dealt with everything on this side,
The booster oil, not the Star God.
we'll run into a rock, talk to these guys. Weirdos who live in the forest, huh? Well, we have already met 2 of them. Yeah, we kind of figured that. I'm not even going to talk about how creepy it is by the fact that Miri looks like she's like, I don't know, 12. We're not even going to get into that at all. Well, flame-covered beast, beware of living coals while hunting. Interesting. I'm assuming we are going to find something that looks like molten rock. Sounds like a new enemy. Let us continue on.
Something about this planet I just don't like.
Yeah, there's something about this setting that I just don't like. So we're going to turn it off again. I'm going to try. All right, we've got a new enemy, Moo Moo. Ow. Stop hitting me and die. Okay, video game. I do not like those attacks. There we go. Full pot flame, can't complain about that. The other item that we're looking for around here is the Medusa's box, which I believe I picked up one. It may have been on screen, it may have been off screen, I don't recall. This is a 2 to 4% drop rate. We can acquire 11 of them for the flow and 5 of them for the factory. You're going to want to grab a couple of these as well. And whenever I say grab a couple or a few, it's a certain amount. It's not a set amount. These are from Red Spiders. Let's set up Drunken Burst to boost our attack power here. But yeah, that means I want a few in addition. Ow. Why do you feel the need to always hit me before I can block? As you can see, these enemies are on the stronger side, and we haven't really gone very far. This is one of the reasons why I don't have a lot of problem doing... Jesus, God. Like I said, this is one of the reasons why I don't have a problem doing a lot of the grinding that I'm recommending, because the enemies are kicking my ass. There's more Hellpot Flames. So yeah, we're not, like, I wouldn't say we're under-leveled, but we're definitely not over-leveled. The game does expect some amount of grinding, so I don't find it too much of a problem. Just like playing one of the older games, like the early Final Fantasies or a Dragon Quest or something like that, where grinding was pretty much built into the game and it was something that you pretty much had to do. Follow the path provided us by the starter. What we got here? Great Waterfall is that away. You know what? I'm pretty sure there's a cutscene, so let's go see it. Ow. Thanks, game.
All right.
Try this again. Can you please stop killing me for 2 seconds? And you know what? Scrub it. I don't know if there's a cutscene there or not. I skipped it in my test run. We're gonna go and do what we're supposed to do. Okay, fine. We'll go this way. I don't know. In my test run, I didn't test out every conceivable combination. Got some stumps here. I am going to heal you up there. And not really anything else I can do here. I will activate Drunken Burst again, so we do a little bit more damage. Don't need as much in this fight, because these are the weaker enemies. But as you can see by any of the newer enemies that we've been fighting, they really hurt. Seems like it spread to this section of or this side of the village. Okay, there was a save point in this direction. I didn't need to worry. Okay. At the very top lies the altar of the star. Let's save here. Let's look at my money. I do not have enough money to buy all of those things, so we will skip talking to the shop for the moment. Find out if there is a cutscene here, or if it's just you can't progress and you need to go back. We have new enemies. Ow. Okay, we finished that off. even though we were fighting camera angles. It's one thing you'll notice, especially when we start fighting in more closed quarters, is the game will push you into a corner and the camera will not behave. Now, if you're swimming, you can't really get up onto blocks of land like this unless they're really flat. And the swimming is really slow, so I'm turning on fast forward. Can I... video game? It's kind of weird. You get here, you're told they went up the waterfall and you can't do anything, and I have no idea how they got up the waterfall, what they did, and we have nothing we can do here at the moment, so we are going to back. One of the weird things is it won't let you crawl up water, or up rocks, but you can climb up a waterfall. Don't ask me why. Luckily, you don't run into battles when you're in the water, so that's a little bit of a saving grace. You're not getting your ass kicked the entire time. All right, more cactus and a new enemy, Stinger. There's not a lot that I have to talk about most of the enemies, because outside of what's required in order to kill them, like if you have to jump on their heads first, or if they have a shield or whatever, there's not a lot different about them. I don't pay enough attention to their own attack patterns outside of bosses to worry about how they're going to attack or what they're going to do. So I basically just swing my sword like an idiot and see where that gets me. The newer enemy types are only available on this side of the, or this section of the jungle. Just because we've gotten to chapter 3 now does not mean that those enemies will be available in the older sections. So just keep that in mind. If you're specifically looking for an enemy like the Smiley, and I will be doing it in a bit, then you're going to want to head back to the previous area. And this is the only mimic in this section of the area. I have it now, so what we're going to do is we're going to activate Drunken Burst and Burning Strike. So even when we perfect that out, we get 300 damage, which really isn't all that much, and the guy still does an absolute butt ton of damage. So as you can see, we haven't really gotten very far in terms of, you know, being able to take him down any faster. I'll try and stun lock him with that and get a rare diamond. I will take it. We are going to need diamonds at some point. Ow. I am going to run back to that save point, or am I going to run forward? I'm going to run forward to the next save point because it's closer. I need to change my equipment. So let's do that. Anytime you max out a weapon, move on to the next weapon. I must have forgotten that that maxed out at some point. Well, what do we got here? Yeah, the thing is, like, this can inflict confusion. The vast majority of the time, it doesn't seem to do it. And that's the case with almost every weapon. Yeah, the Frozen Slasher, by far the best weapon that we've seen. That's why I was excited to see it. I'm going to stick with the weaker ones now, and we'll move on to the stronger ones in a bit. All right. Going from Gust Shuriken to another Gust Shuriken. Yay, for the same weapon. Work on those. And here, we no longer have anything that she can equip. Now, number one rule about doing any crafting is to make sure you save before you do anything. So, in my case, I'm going to save state. But normally, you would just wait till you get to an actual save file and do your combining at that point. But I have patience problems, and I would like to have something that I can work with right now, which is going to be this. And this. And I have the notes open to double check to make sure that it is indeed the one that I want it to be. And it does create the thing that I indeed want it to create. It's the prime sneakers. Now, I talked about this before, how the symbol at the end would be random. This one, Zeta thing, I don't remember. No, the Zeta was like a DC cartoon in the 90s or 2000s, wasn't it? Project Zeta? Isn't that like an Android-like thing? It was same time period as Batman Beyond. It's weird because I was at that point where I was getting out of that type of show. Like I watched Justice League and Justice League Unlimited and Batman Beyond, and beyond that I kind of tuned out a lot of the other ones, like Static Shock and the like. I never really got too far into it. All right. So yeah, this one's that one's Sigma. This one is S. There's a few different ones. They're randomly assigned. Basically, it just means that there is a regular Star Edge and there is a Star Edge Prime, and this is the Prime version. Slightly better, but not by much. So anyway, there we go. There's that. We can quit weapon synthesis. If you happen to upgrade and combine something that someone is already equipping, they will automatically be equipping the new one, so you never have to worry about that. You're, trying to figure out where the item is or why it's not where you thought it would be. That's why. Okay. Continue. Now, if you want to avoid combat, you could jump in the water and swim your way down. Now, if you remember back to the crashed site, they were saying that some other guy liked Miri. And that was actually the guy we talked to on the way to the crash site. He looks exactly like Cran, but for some reason, Cran didn't get a unique character sprite. I don't know why. Or character model, whatever. Go any farther and he'll chase you away. He's famous for being... Oh no, not another one. I already used the title for the last episode. We already ran out of different weirdos. I can't just, call the episode another weirdo. Queen Bee Stinger, I'll take it. Yeah, like I was saying, I'm going to fight pretty much any enemies that I encounter because I need a lot of these rare drops. Queen Bee Stinger is one of them. We absolutely are going to need a bunch of those. Magic Lipstick, I got one in a chest. I also got one as a rare drop. These are going to be quite valuable as well. What else are we going to need right away-ish? A lot of myriad branches, a lot. We only need 4 of these in total for the flow, so you won't need to worry about buying any more of these. I might buy one just so that I know I have all of them. We'll need a few of these. We'll want to pick up a few, like I've been getting a few rare rubies, which is nice. Where's the diamond? Got some diamonds. We're definitely going to want a few of those. A lot of these items aren't going to be available in high quantities in the shops, so finding ways of acquiring them is going to make it so that we're not stuck on the flow. So if we're stuck on the flow, then we can't learn any more abilities. Now, not all abilities are equal, and many of them aren't particularly useful, but do know that they are there, and getting them is better than nothing. All right, Desert Wind it is. I gotta get these guys to piss off a little bit. I really need to do more damage. Yeah, the amount of damage I'm dealing to these guys is not particularly high. A lot of the enemies around here are, especially the new ones, are really powerful, and they will hurt you quite a bit. I will take that for a hard-earned victory. One thing to note is strategy. Now is the time to probably go on the same target so we can eliminate enemies a little bit faster. at least until we power up some. I may make a detour and go farm some smileys now to get the second star earrings so that I can get a couple of new skills and make my life a little bit easier. But we'll see how it goes. Okay, you do that. All right, so that cactus is actually a different cactus from the one that we have fought already. And first, and dagger slash. Now, what I've just done there is use 3 abilities in a row. This is not recommended because if you do this, I can no longer throw out a random heal if I need to survive. And I've basically screwed myself. If something bad happens, I'm just going to have to deal with it. In my case, I'm just going to have to run away because there's a save point right there. But just note that putting yourself in this situation is not a good idea. You know what? In fact, I'm out. I'm gone. Later. Yeah, game over. Really easy to come by. Really easy to come by, especially at one of this game's many difficulty spikes. Ooh, that was fun. Make sure we save the saves point. And we'll head on down here for a cutscene.
Get out! You need my help, huh? Why now? It's a little late for you to be making requests. I don't care one bit about that stupid village. And you can tell the chief I said so. Tell him they'd be plenty safe if they'd only had machines.
Weirdo number 3.
Fine then. What's with you? Do you need something from me?
No, nothing really.
What? Is that? No, it can't be. I smell a gadget. Where is it?
I really don't like the weirdos on this planet.
Whoa! That's a rare thing you've got there. That's a freeze shot, isn't it?
Huh? What? Oh, this. Well, yeah, but it's broken.
Broken? Then fix it! Don't let it go to waste! Poor thing! Can't you feel its pain? Here, let me see! Ah, rats! Glue! Where's my glue?
I think he's been sniffing the glue. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of these weirdos at all.
I wonder if it's okay.
They all have really
We've got
overdone
nothing to lose,
accents,
at least.
or at least
Hey,
voices.
Can a freeze shut ice over rivers and stuff like that?
That should be a piece of cake. A good model could even freeze a waterfall.
Video game, are you telling me how to progress without telling me how to progress?
Cool.
Good job!
You three, promise me one thing.
Huh?
No using machines for evil. Only use them to help people. Don't use them to hurt anyone. And that is my policy. Here you go.
I don't like them,
Fixed?
but I have no problem with your policy.
Try it and see.
The delivery on that is just weird.
Ah!
What? The guy fixes it and you freeze him? What's wrong with you? I know he's a weirdo.
That. You okay?
What did I tell you about hurting people? You gotta be more careful. Machines are for helping, not for hurting. Well, you're just starting out, so I guess I'll let this one slide. But from now on, watch where you point that thing. Anyway, there you go. You're all set. See you later.
Thanks a lot, Cherio.
Hey, look, we learned the guy's name at the end of the conversation for some reason. Don't ask me why. This game's weird with things.
Machines aren't bad unless you misuse them. It's the users that makes the difference. I wonder if the chief will ever understand that.
Yeah, he's not wrong. The only problem is you can't necessarily trust the masses to do things in even a slightly intelligent way. If you want proof of this, think about anyone who's ever had to drive. Think about all the idiots on the road. Yeah. All right, this is, I think, a reused house, if I recall correctly. Pretty sure I've seen this one before. Can I get up there, please? Video game? I don't know why it does that. It's weird. Sometimes it just won't let you up, even though you obviously should. They've, like, set it up in a specific way so that you cannot jump. Like, there's literally nothing stopping me from jump. Like, he's hitting his head on nothing. They want to force you into using this stupid, slow-ass ladder, only to get up and do exactly what I criticized them for not doing at all before, putting a lock chest at the top of the ladder. Now, we may have gotten the Earth key, but we do not have the start. And no, that's not a reference to Chrono Cross and a certain party. Anyway, with that being said, in between episodes, I'm going to head back and I'm going to go find another pair of star earrings from one of the smileys. The other enemies that can drop them, I believe, are the Mooey. I'm going to double check that. Yes, the Mooey. The Mooey has a lower percent chance. I think that's about like a 1% chance. And the other guy is a 2%, the smiley. So yeah, it's a 2 or 3%. I don't remember off the top of my head. Check your notes. Don't give bad information. Okay, fine. Won't do that. It is a 3%. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to take what I have here and go and fight a few of the smileys, gain maybe a level while I do it. And if you're looking to farm the smileys, I don't know if there's a specific point that has the absolute highest amount, but the highest one that works for me is along the path to the spring. According to one of the walkthroughs, you can find him creekside at dead ends, the path to Burkakwa, which is basically from the start of the village to the four-way, and last but not least, the path to the spring, which was from the four-way to the spring, but not in the spring. In the spring is a different area. You'll find a lot of different enemies there, specifically bees and the piranha enemies. So I'm going to run up and down this strip for a little while. You could also look at some dead ends if you want to look at some dead ends, like something like that would be a dead end. That would be a dead end. That would be a dead end. So with a lot of the houses, a lot of enemies don't seem to spawn around those houses. So take with that what you will. But yeah, I'm going to fight a few of them, get another star earring, and then I'm going to make use of both of them. And we'll start next episode doing a couple things below before we finally move on. Head back to that waterfall area and see if we can put our new weapon to use. You'll notice that it's moved. Of course, it's moved. It is no longer the broken free shot. It is now the free shot. So again, I am going to put it over here. And yeah, that's pretty much all for this one. And I'll see you guys next time.